What is up, Kingsmen? Welcome back to another Napoleonic Total War 3 battle. Today, featured on this channel, we have the French amoeba. No, I'm just kidding. I know for those of you who have taken biology, you know, like that thing, like you can see in a microscope, called an amoeba, and it's like this big blob, and it kind of inches forward. That's exactly what this whole formation looks like. Kind of cracking me up. Look at it. It looks like this big like organism. Just all the flags are at the front. Oh man, that is the 11-point France bunching up all his troops. I'm just kidding. That's actually a viable way, especially on a road, to get your troops on one way. Anyway, this I believe is a clan battle, the H&R versus, it's either the Templars, I think. We'll check the end of the battle. On Persia 2, so another map that's not seen very often. We have the H&R as the French. As you can see, a 6-point tie roll, 10-point France, a 9-point France, and of course the 11-point France. And they're going up against an Austria themed faction, it looks like. So yeah, Austria, HRE looks like, with the Suvorov. You have an Austria here and here, and then a Russia-Austria. That's the 9-pointer, that much I do know. I do believe this is a 9-point as well. We'll see, though, because pretty soon here, as you can see already, Austrian Cav, you know, making its appearance here, while these Chevalier Lancers are scouting. Got some Hussars ready to do some. All of these Lancers are getting out of here rather quickly here. I think they are not interested in having a fight at the moment. But yeah, we'll look as things develop here, where they're gonna end up staking their claims here on these 2-pointers. On a side note, I've already announced on my channel, but we just hit 1 year of this channel being a channel. It was literally today, a year ago, I made my first Total War YouTube video. I'm not gonna post it, the link in the description, because quite honestly, it's rather cringy. I mean, as first videos go, it's pretty awful. My mic's awful. I don't know how to talk, and it was a boring 12 AD playthrough. But it's awesome to see where I've come from there, guys. We're almost at 1,300 subscribers. Man, I grew, like, this channel grew a lot faster than I ever had hoped or dreamed it would, and that's all due to you guys. So, I really do appreciate it. Thank you all for the subscription to my channel, and comments, likes, and just the support that you guys have shown. It really means quite a lot to me. I know I say that a lot, probably starting to sound like a repetitive robot, but that's it. Yeah, just keep being awesome. All right, so let's see where let's fast forward here a little bit. The French are gonna be pushing up here. I'm assuming this 2-pointer right here can be the focal point, maybe, of the Russian or the French attack here. We do have some more cavalry charging, some lancers. Looks like Austria really does not, and these are Chevaliers, they do not want the French to get this 2-pointer, and you can see being very aggressive with their cavalry. Both of these teams definitely are more experienced, and they probably know a decent amount about the enemy composition, like what kind of Hussars they have, what kind of Chevaliers, which is why they would obviously be running away the Cav when they did. I don't know enough about this Hussar to know if they're really good or not. I'm assuming it is, if France was running their Cav away, either that or this Lancer was just terrible earlier. But they will pass this 2-pointer, and obviously, as you can see, not even bothering with it right now, which is totally normal. You don't usually need to bother with 2-pointers in the back. Up until near the end, maybe the last 20 minutes, you need to start thinking about your LOCs. But man, this, for being a 6-pointer, this army looks quite formidable. They've got, let's see, what's the theme? Because sometimes like Bavarian themes. This one looks like just French military. Nothing fancy. Just the French. No. They do have some artillery, some 3-pounders. Ooh, 3 of them, and then 6-pounders, 3 of those. So bringing some good hardware artillery-wise. More French line of shoot. Like I said, for a 6-pointer, they are bringing quite a lot. Yeah. And of course, their reinforcements will be ever slowly but surely marching over to them. Look at this glorious French army with the red and white and blue banner. We have more Trilliers. Looks like we have some Bavarians, possibly. Some Grenadiers. Some Chasseurs. So it's some like German style, I do believe. Like I said, some Bavarians, definitely some Bavarians. Oh, we have some Fusiliers. Some Hessians, I think. Some Carabiniers, nice. I mean, they're bringing, ooh, Fusiliers of the Guard. I promise I'm paying attention to the minimap, I promise. You can almost hear people screaming internally, like, go back! Actually, I do that to some people that I watch. I'll be like, no, you're missing it, you're missing this, and missing this, and I YouTube from the back seat. So it's probably a good thing no one watches with me. They can bring a combat gen for one of their artillery, the 6-pounder. They also have a 3-pounder over here. I did see a lot of Cuirassiers, actually, so quite a lot of French heavy cav. Not tons of it, of course, but they definitely brought it. And some people don't. Oh, they even brought that small unit of the Garde du Corps. Or not the Garde du Corps, my apologies. The, like the Ledoux, I think, like the Grenadier Cheval style. So they are definitely bringing heavy hitting cav. They're probably going to try to use it effectively against enemy infantry. People sometimes really don't play with their cav right. I didn't play with my cav right. I had to get a lot of help in order to actually properly play with my cav right. Also, France has some Chasseur Cheval way in the back scouting. You want to use your cav on the enemy infantry, and you want their enemy cav to hit your infantry and be killed. That's kind of how to do it. Also, don't commit all of your cav into one big cav fight. You'd be better just to fall back and not take on a huge cav fight. It's always better that way. I don't know what these Hussars are gonna do. They're really good quality Hussars. But yeah, if they look like they're gonna engage you with the cav, make sure you have infantry nearby to be able to cushion that blow. You want to have cav left over. I mean, the worst thing to have is have line infantry with no cav support. It's just the worst. But yeah, so there's a slight slope here, as you can see, and it looks like Austria is going to fall back here, and they are probably going to hold this hill. There's a nice little slope for the French to have. Over here, it looks like Austria may take this area, but they are going to have to watch out for a possible flank. Here's some cavalry charging in here, potentially maybe trying to goad the French in. The Hussars stood their ground, and Austria's going to fall back their small unit of Hussars. It looks like the bulk of this 11-pointer, France is going to push over here. He has some beefy units here, 140 men. This is going to do well. And I think he has some Grenadiers, I did see. Yes, he has a couple Grenadiers. Looks like some Polish Grenadiers, actually. Yes, he does. Some Polish Grens. More line infantry. I love these uniforms. I love the interspersed, like, blue, and then you have some with the brown or the gray, like, raincoats. I love it. The skins in this game, guys, way better than vanilla. Look at them. All ready to fight. The hats even are different colors. It's just the attention to detail that makes this game so worth it. Alright, so we have Austria now. Looks like, again, position, guys, this is a lot of just chess pieces on the board right now. Tyrol pushing up here. France Österreich is still pushing up here. They're probably, as you can see, way in the back on the mini-map. They can easily go to any place and kind of fill in the gaps depending on where the Austrians are. 6-point Tyrol, though, making their moves. And nothing seems to be in their way. They may be trying to go for this 1-pointer. They could get a beautiful flank here. Maybe that's what they're trying to do here, is go in for this flank and hit around the town and circle this 2-pointer. Because right now, our artillery is already firing here. So we do have probably the first, you can tell, the first Austrian position that is going to be held is going to be on this hill. artillery set up in a defensive posture, I would say at this point, although it can be used if the Austrians choose to attack. This is a good position to then be able to fire the flank, especially if the Austrians advance down this valley into this hill. And you zoom in here, this is the perfect positioning for an artillery. I know I say it a lot and you probably get tired of hearing me say it. Kingston, like in his freaking artillery positions. I can't help it, okay? That's who I am. Ooh, the roar of musket, or of artillery fire, artillery fire. You can see France. Oh my goodness, this is a definite attack here, going straight in for this 2-pointer. So they are definitely going to be trying. I don't know if Austria has anything here yet, but they are pushing up the flanks, and now they have a little small center here. We do have some cavalry charging, getting repulsed. Oh, the poor hussars, they just got slaughtered. You gotta be careful charging infantry that have not fired yet, because I think every single one of these guys fired. Artillery looks like they're maybe gonna be trying to go for the 6-pounder. And this is definitely a Polish theme, I'd say, for this 11-pointer. But I do believe this is going to be an artillery duel, potentially, for a little bit at least. Austria looks like to have way more artillery pieces than the French, at least on this flank. France may just leave a small defensive force, looks like, and they're going to be pushing up. Austria holding this line, holding another hill. And they're probably going to start giving those volleys to the French as they advance. Or they seem to be falling back now. I don't think they like that position. 6-point Tyrol, though, is pushing up here and has still not met any resistance. But this clump of trees, which could be where they're pushing to. This is probably where Russia, Austria is going to hold here. Looks like they have some Russian Guard units. You know how I feel about the Russian Guard, and they have 2 of them so far, I can see. Ooh, love those units. The uniforms are always very fancy. Looks like they're going to push up some Dragoons. This is a small unit. I don't like the small units of Cav, because there's that shock factor where if you lose, like say our artillery hits this and it gets like 2 good shots and takes out 10, that is enough to where it could actually cause these guys to break and run, just because they lost a huge amount of troops. That's how you can like, it's that shock resist that some units have. We have taken a building, sir. Where if you don't know what shock resist is, if you lose a bunch of troops, it can cause a shock and cause your men to break immediately. And some units will not do that. Cossacks usually won't. Oh, these hussars getting charged here. These guys can form squares, so we will see if they can get a volley off before the Dragoons get out of here. Oh, that's gonna hurt a little bit. Okay, then we lost a couple. But now Tyrol knows they cannot advance until they get reinforcements, and these reinforcements may not be pushing. In fact, it looks like 6-point Tyrol is going to be the right flank here, so they have the job of taking care of Russia. You see artillery hitting the French lines here, getting some kills. Thankfully, France was able to get this LOC done, and now they're going to set up some artillery maybe. Start with some of their sappers. Oh, these are cool. These are Saxon troops. Nice mixture of soldiers here. Those are definitely some Saxon troops. I think Austria has, for the most part, set up their lines, though. I mean, you can see the artillery sitting right here. I don't know if they're limbering up, maybe, because they do not like how close they are now to the French troops. They may have to fall back here. The problem is, I would put all my artillery right here because you can fire sideways towards the French advance. Hopefully they have more troops over here, because this is a problem. France is showing a very united front here. All of a sudden they're starting to send some heavy cav over. Not a lot of scouting on either side, to be honest, though. I don't see very much. No one seems to really know what the other is doing. I mean, you don't want to risk your cav for nothing. Looks like we may have some cavalry charging some artillery here. Maybe there's some Austria. Oh. They're calling off that attack. We have a cav fight happening over here while they're distracted. Some hussars charging it against the Austrian hussars who had come back. Were exhausted. Now they're probably going to break them. That's unfortunate. Austria probably was trying to save his artillery, and they did a coordinated attack. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to out-task the enemy, make them multitask in multiple areas, and one of them may be a ruse, and one of them maybe not. And who knows, maybe that wasn't even supposed to be a ruse. They just, you know, had two well-coordinated attacks at once. Now look at all of the troops in the back lines. I love seeing reserve lines in front of other lines. You can bet anything valuable to you that I'm coming back and watching this replay and taking some screenshots. This is a beautiful, beautiful map, first of all, and then the troops, the formations just make it so awesome. Look at this, artillery is set up in a good position here. Obviously, Russia has a better position with the artillery up on this hill. Probably have troops in the groves, in the trees. Looks like their Novograd is going to take some artillery fire. They may want to get them way back behind this hill. This is a really good cav unit. We have some Cavs still fighting. This Hussars are still back here. France is not like that probably, and they're going to keep trying to get... Now these guys are exhausted, and these are only winded, so they probably will catch them. Yep. And finally break those stinking Hussars. It's the worst thing in the world to have Cavs sit behind. We do have artillery still. What is this? Is this crossing? Yeah, some heavy cav. The thing about some of these battles, the reason I kind of like these guys, especially tournament battles, they're so much more calculated than just like a casual battle. Like these teams are chatting with each other. They are planning stuff. They are shifting. You can see the reinforcements. They are shifting reserves to both sides. They want to make sure that no matter what, they are prepared. Like this is actually realistic, unless of course you catch the enemy out. I mean, France is being very calculated with how they are sending reserves over. I mean, they are putting extra troops where they may be weakest. Maybe they're going to mass up some troops where they may try to push. As you can see, 10-point France seems to be shifting the majority of his troops over here. I think they may be trying to push here. I would too. This honestly seems to be the weaker side. But France does have Chasseurs Cheval scouting. They are running, and Russia, I think, does see them, and Russia is going in. I would not send the heavies in. I would send these Hussars. I think these guys can get away. Oh, it's a race. Imagine being these guys and being told, you know, you have to get out of here, and you see the enemy cav coming right at you. He's gonna commit here. These poor Chasseurs Cheval gonna get killed. But hopefully they took out something beforehand. And they pulled away the Russian cav. So I would be getting aggressive with the Russian cav out of there and exhausted and tired. I would start being aggressive with my cavalry and infantry, maybe. Start pushing up here. I mean, I think France is gonna push this direction. They can even use this small hill, if needed, to then shelter from artillery, infantry, push the reserves in here, and then push over the side. Imagine if Russia had a bunch of troops sitting here just hidden. I know they won't because this cow would see them. Imagine if they just sat on the side. It's like that battle in the American Civil War where they blew up a huge crater. It was during a siege. What siege was it? But they blew up a huge crater, and then the Union charged troops into it thinking that they were going to get through the entrenchments, and they got stuck on the other side, and like hundreds of Union soldiers died in this big old crater. This is what this crater kind of reminds me of. But yeah, you can see that France is now advancing. Tyrol has been reinforced by Österreich, who is pushing up some of his light infantry. Very nice. And the advance has been ordered. There's reserves in the way back. I love these kind of views. It just looks... I can't get enough of this game, guys. I'm like an addict, and I just can't leave this game. Even if they made a Medieval 3, I would, of course, do that. I would have definitely do that game. But I can't ever leave the solid, beautiful lines. Oh, look at the reserves just marching forward in steady formations. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna have our first engagements here as 6-point tie roll pushing up. Russia pushing up their reserves, their musketeers to meet them. So the first clashing is gonna be Russia taking on the French. France is actually advancing into this crater. Hopefully not a trap for them. If I were Russia, I would even have troops maybe over here to catch that flank, but they're gonna advance up here. Maybe we'll have the first volleys. I see no squares, so I hope they have cavalry on this flank because the Novograd is pushing up here. Oh, I think Russia got a little caught out. Oh, the drummer. How could they kill the drummer? What did he ever do? He didn't do anything. He didn't deserve this. Oh, look at the masses of France just going in. They're full on sending it, all these banners, all these troops just advancing across here. France means business. They are forming up. Unfortunately, a little sloppy on the advanced formation. And Russia's going to get those volleys off. But Russia doesn't have a lot of troops on this side, actually, compared to France. And Russia is going to take a beating. I'd be falling back as Russia, to be honest. Look at this force, though, and they have a reserve to take up that line for 6-point tie roll. Austria seems to be advancing here, and France is calling the retreat. This is not the side they wanted to push. Obviously, they have reserves there now going to be pushing over here. But they were not going to probably attack the site, and Austria definitely wants to, especially if the enemy is falling back. That's usually a good sign. Either that or it's a trap. But they're in advance at the slope. I'm surprised France isn't trying to fight at all for it. They are going to form up some troops here. Like I said, they have 11-point France sending more of his troops over to this side. A lot more reserves. More of the Polish. He has a Polish combat gen here. Over here, look at this. They're going straight in for this area. We have artillery. We have some light infantry forming up. Russia seems to be on his own. No, we have some. Yeah. Russia is on his own. Some militia here, some Landwehr, some Austrian line infantry as well. Russia still holding, sort of holding here. He has this guard pouring in volleys all on his own. France does have the cavalry defending his lines just in case. But here we go. Austria is shifting troops over here. But I think France may have found the weak point. This weak point right here to separate Austria from each other. Oh, there is some fighting happening here potentially. And a beautiful charge they will get with those Lancers on the Austrian line and sending forward some line infantry to bayonet charge this side. Of course, there's a counter charge by the Cossacks. And what a charge. Of course, watch out for those really brutal volleys. Austria should start pulling back this whole line, though. But, whoa, look at these reinforcing line hold. And we got some cav happening over here. Oh, the heavies are going in on the French line here. As Russia is falling back, Austria trying to get in position here. These heavies are going to try to cover that retreat. Austria is retreating across this little rough ground here. These heavies need to get out of here. Russia trying to hold this line. We have more cav over here. Oh, that wasn't even the Russian heavy. Oh, it was. Wow, Russia brought 2 heavy cav. Now over on this side, you can see that cavalry charged in, but was broken, but it may have saved Austria here. As now, look at this Austria Suvorov, which has quite a lot of grenadiers. Something to watch out for is pushing up on the French flank. France is gonna have to start forming up defensive line, maybe shifting more reserves over here, as Austria definitely has massed up quite a lot. Oh, they have Russian grenadiers. Watch out for Russia as they will slam in some troops. They have some musketeers as well. Looks like France managed to, or not France, but Russia and Austria managed to make some distance between the French And now France is going to try to maybe encircle this French or this Austrian and Russian player here. They have a good line. They just got to try to utilize the momentum they got from that retreat to then keep falling back. They do not need to take this fight. France is in danger of being totally overwhelmed here. As you can see, they are heavily outnumbered. Granted, there are plenty of reinforcements shifting over here. Some of these troops, they have to make a very crucial decision here. They got to decide if they want to shift reserves over to hit this Austrian flank or if they want to keep pushing on this Russian-Austrian player. Either one could be the game-winning decision, or it could be the most disastrous decision as they try to save this flank and watch the French just collapse. Now, France is going to give the Austrians what for. They have a very good line. They have artillery set up defensively. They have some heavy cav to defend. I'm concerned more about this right flank. I think Austria has some very good troops on this side. And like I said, some grenadiers can easily make it a nightmare situation for the French. Austria is advancing here because they probably are anticipating a French attack on their flank to kind of drive back their attack. Over here, France has stopped. And I'm trying to think what they may be thinking. They may be... What is this cav doing? They may be thinking they have these guys on the ropes. They're shifting over some troops on this far right flank. I'm surprised they haven't tried making the plunge across here with some of their troops. But you can see they are pushing up. Hold on. Hold that thought, because some artillery got charged here. I think they may have saved their artillery just in time, but Austria is getting dangerously close. Very, very close here. We even have some Chevaliers. Ooh, that's not gonna suit well. But we do have some Lancers who are going to charge them, as well as some Cuirassiers who are going to flank them. Austria may have fallen into a trap here. I think they fell into a trap. All of the Lancers got destroyed. I think they'll get that flank off, unless these Grenadiers can get a good volley off on the heavies. France has a good potential attack here. As you can see, their columns are advancing on the flank of Austria. They have some cavalry as well, some of the heavies, some dragoons. So they have a good potential to... Oh, Austria, get your cav out of there. Especially those heavies. Yeah, we're about to see something big happening here, guys. They are stopping this attack because they are making this attack a key point here. Austria did lose on this side. These Cuirassiers are wavering and very tired. We have a Grenadier charge here. Oh, Austria could really start tipping the scales here. Look at this Gren charge. France may start really losing on this side here. Yeah, they're wisely. See, already anticipating that left flank crumbling, and they are falling back already. In the center here, they are getting very close, massing up quite a lot of reserves. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to go in with the bayonet charge here, give them the cold steel, but the Austrian machine gun is going to start really, really hitting them hard. Of course, they are massing forward. Look at this. They are not stopping. They are pushing forward. Cavalry in the back, infantry ready to throw themselves into this fray. Nothing happening here. They are staying still. I wouldn't be surprised if Russia and Austria that were over here are shifting themselves to this flank. Artillery set in a beautiful position here. Look at this play. Look at them pushing up here. They have way more troops than the Austrians. Austria has thrown in some reserves, and it looks like they're ordering the heavy cav forward. Yep, they're going to charge in here, going for skirmishers, line infantry. There, I'm sure, are some squares. Oh, what a charge! This is, I think, going to go well for France. They have a lot of troops massed up there, but it may save this Austrian line. That charge may have saved them. And Austria has a flank here. France, they are getting very aggressive here, as you can see, but I would be very, very, very careful because that flanking fire could really start breaking you. Now, looks like Russia, or not Russia, Austria's getting charged. Some cavalry throwing himself into a big old bayonet charge. Look at this fight. Some volleys, that's Russia. Wow, I can't get my factions right. Austria's getting charged here, but it looks like France is definitely winning here. That cavalry not really being able to slow down these heavies. And this is a problem here. Austria's going to need to relocate some reserves here because France just made a huge spearhead through the middle of that Austrian line. Over on this side, cavalry still fighting. Austrian cav still trying to stop the French from making a dent here. We have some grenadiers and more grenadiers of the guard pushing up here. Oh my goodness, so many elite French line infantry throwing themselves into this Austrian line. Austria definitely is going to crumble here. There's no way they can hold. This is not their specialty, and it's going to be a rough one. Looks like we had some cavalry charging in some of the heavies for Russia. They definitely invested a lot in their cavalry, and it seems to be paying off at the moment as they are wreaking havoc on 6-point Tyrol, pushing up their musketeers as well. This is going to go badly, but it looks like France is doing very well on this side here, where you can see Austria has some heavies that are trying to stop this. Oh, France is just continually going forward, hitting some musketeers now. They have almost totally broken this line. It is carrying forward. These heavy cuirassiers are just really fracturing the Austrian line here. Austria and Suvorov, Austria, are gonna have to fall back. In fact, Suvorov looks like the only one left here. He's gonna have to fall back as their line has been split in two. I mean, honestly, Suvorov, I'm just gonna call it Suvorov, it's easier that way. They're the ones who are getting hit pretty hard here. Now these musketeers seem to be holding quite well against sappers, against grenadiers.
Our men are running, sir.
They're doing very well, but there is just so many French troops pushing forward here. What a glorious fight. These heavies are exhausted, but they are still fighting the good fight. Let's see how 6-point Tyrol is faring. Ooh, looks like they are actually getting hit pretty hard. They're falling back. He's managed to save a lot of his army here, and they're just going to fall back. They just got to hold the 6-pointer. That is it. Austria is a little late to this party on this flank. They're watching their whole right flank just get disintegrated here as Russia, Suvorov, I should say, is getting hit pretty hard. Their grenadiers trying to hold on for dear life. They're trying to pour in some good solid volleys, and they are. Oh, the slaughter of these cuirassiers. An enemy general has been killed. I think Austria over here has crumbled. Props to Suvorov, man. They are putting up quite the fight here, inflicting heavy casualties on France. But France will not be denied. They are advancing. We got some grenadiers who are charging. These guys are probably tired. That's not going to go too well here. All right, let's see what's happening over here. Ooh, 6-point Tyrol. They're sending in some cavalry, maybe? No, just infantry in a fight with the dragoons and light infantry of Russia. I think they managed to get part of their army away, though. Austria has to attack now. This is their only time they're able to capitalize on half of the French army being involved in another fight.
Our men are running.
And like I said, guys, Suvorov, man, they're doing quite well considering they've been hit pretty hard. Looks like they're trying to go in maybe some bayonet charges. These guys are not going to make it. There's no way. Brave, brave Austrians. Wow, they have not broken. They were getting shot to pieces, and they held bravely. We have a general trying to inspire his men as Suvorov makes his last desperate assault here. I love the Grenadiers' top hats. They're so cool looking. But yeah, this right flank looks like it's going to be a decisive victory. As that last desperate stand is going on. Oh, we have a huge cav fight here. This fight is not over by any means, guys. Is that the word? Nah. It is not over. I'll say it that way. Russia. Oh man. Okay, that's Suvorov now. Oh, and I apologize. The H&R were the coalition, not the French. My apologies. I got them both mixed up. So, for those of you who were probably in all caps in the comments, you got the factions wrong. I apologize. Oh my goodness. 6-point Tyrol is getting just blanked. It's a bloodbath over here. Oh, we have France going in with the bayonet charge. Of course, the guard for Russia, he's pushing up some of his guard troops in 2 areas. Oh, the countercharge by the guard going in against some chasseurs, so light infantry. Not going to do too hot, honestly. They're better at shooting. We have, is this Russian? Oh, that's French. Thank goodness. I was about to say, I was like, oh no. Oh, Russia's going in with the bayonet charge. Russia is countercharging here. They are not content just to repel the French. They are ready to attack. And, man, they are doing as best they can.
Our men are running, sir.
I think this is going to be a losing battle for the coalition, to be sure, though. I mean, France has plenty of reserves. As you can see, more troops in the back. More troops pushing forward to assault the Austrian line. Although this line doesn't look like it's going too hot at the moment. Look at that. Crossairs charging in, trying to save their line.
Our men
Some
are
Grenadiers
running,
desperately fighting against Russia's finest. Oh, more cav charging in. Hold on. Wow. Russia's putting all, like, they're not putting the brakes. They're pumping the gas. At this point, they are determined to try to break this French line. They have to, in fact, break this French line if they want to even have a chance at winning. France has a couple troops here. They're fresh, ready to go. I don't know why Austria has troops sitting way over here. Maybe they forgot about them. Artillery is going to try to do their best. France falling back now as Russia has pushed them back. Of course, they really hurt the Russians, I'm sure. They probably put a dent in their numbers. But Austria is not out of this fight, guys. They are pushing forward here. And France, especially on this side, these guys have to be tired. Some of them are fresh. Some of them are winded. Oh, wow. Russia and Austria making a coordinated attack on this side. Well, actually, this is mostly just Austria carrying forward with light infantry and some heavies. And they are really putting the pressure on this village. And forcing the French once more to fall back. So they are kind of starting to even the odds a little bit here. As we see, there's not a lot of French troops. I mean, they're way over here. That's the problem. France has so many troops way over here trying to chase down the Austrian line. Probably farming so many kills. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They ran down those Austrians. Oh, we have some French here. Some old guard looking troops. Alright, I hope Austria noticed this. Yep, they did. And they're gonna charge in here. Yes, get that counter charge. This cav's still going strong here.
Our men are running, sir.
We have artillery that is charging in. As France has made their new line, they even have a flank here. Austria did move that troop up now. Austria holding that mantle. I mean, France, though, has a pretty good flank here. Russia, hopefully, is going to try to defend that flank. Take part of this hill, maybe. Yeah, here goes that bayonet charge. What a fight this was. Looks like we have some grenadiers who have been beaten by some cuirassiers as France is advancing forward with more troops here. Austria falling back as this is the remnants of their army here. They still have cavalry, thankfully. Man, their heavies are so few now. Oh, we have some cavalry and line infantry. We have a cab charge potentially. Trying to save this line here. Yep, Russia going in with some musketeers and cavalry. And they may actually get such a good cav charge off as to win. Oh, nope, they didn't. France will not be denied here. See, I'm surprised that Russia isn't, or Austria is not trying to fall back to some more even ground here. I guess they don't really have an option. I mean, they could fall back to the other side of this rocky road, or this rocky hills. I mean, if they sat on this side, artillery sitting right there and held right here, maybe that would work. I don't know if it actually would do anything at this point. It's like Russia is doing a cab charge here, trying to break Tyrol, but I think they broke on their own here. Man, look at this. Look at the death and destruction here. You can see on the flank, France advancing. Austria is still trying to hold here. We have some French reinforcements as well. Oh, so Russia, or Austria, sorry, is falling back as of right now, and France is pushing up. We do have a cab charge, though, going in, but they're still going to give them the what for with the cold steel. And now they're going to charge this French line, but they're now going to get shot in the back by the French troops, so, you know, I guess one over the other. Oh, more desperate fighting here. Austria breaking once more. Oh, the flag bearer has been killed.
Our men are running, sir.
Austria still trying to hold here. You can see them engaging some more line infantry. Oh, they repelled the French. But more French are coming in. Yeah, see, they are not quitting. What a gorgeous shot. France is just caving this line one unit at a time, setting in that cap in the line infantry. Austria just can't. Oh, look at this one guy way in the back. What a brave guy. All by himself. Look at him.
Our men are running, sir.
He's all alone. But it is over. It is definitely over. Austria is all but gone. And they played well. I think maybe they shouldn't have had so much. So when I played Austria, Russia, I do only bring one of the heavies. They brought two, which obviously I guarantee you got a lot of kills. But I don't know. I feel like more infantry for Russia would have been really a good thing. They could have held their ground a little better. They still got beautiful amount of kills, and they played very well. I'm not trying to criticize them because each person has a different way of playing the Russia-Austria Corps or faction. I like having more infantry. That's just me personal. I've never been a good at cav anyway.
We have killed
so.
their general, sir. Now they must break.
This is the last Austrian line trying to hold here. You see French troops are even behind. And I think this is about it. Yeah, there's only a couple cav, a couple desperate Russians. The Brave Guard almost obliterated, but they are running. We have some militia running. And the musketeers, the last ones. Some cavalry, some dragoons. Gonna try charging in here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Looks to be just 1 or 2 cav units here. I'd be curious to see how... I'd be curious how many of the kills that Russia's gonna get in this are from their cav. Because their cav did well. Like, really well. Look, the general is pushing his troops forward. At this point, he's like, push on, on! Look at him. He's in the front lines. Oh, no. I definitely come back and get some screenshots. You can believe it, brother. No, I was kidding. Anyway, I do believe this was the Templars and then the H&R. Both sides playing very well. Both sides are getting some kills. Almost 1,000. Like you see, 6-point tie roll. They got hit pretty hard. But they managed to hold it together. They may not inflict a lot of losses, but they kept Russia busy. Russia with 900, you have this Austrian 10-point here with 12, this 8-point Austria with 758, and 9-point Austria. Italy, I guess? I thought it was, I'm pretty sure it was Suvorov. I know that's Suvorov mixed in there, but with the 828. You have 9-point France with 21, got the most kills there. Valentin, 11-point France with 18. 6-point die roll, he got 567, and here he has 10-point France at almost 1,000. So let's see. I do believe. Oh wow, wow, 440. This had to be the truth. These had to be the guys that ran down the Austrian line. Maybe not, but they still got some juicy kills there. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There will be another bit of videos is coming Saturday. That's probably when I make the announcement about the new schedule, when I will be and won't be posting videos. That's when I begin my 48-hour shifts. So thank you guys for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.